shalom, shalom. Shalom, family. All praise to the Most High. H.O.I. Ashar Kadash Rock. Happy new brew. No chew. Nah, inside joke. Happy new brew. Moon, 5th month. All praise to the Most High. Mashiach Yahushai. Ashar Kadash Rock. Pray everyone is well. Shalom to those that are up on the late night tip with the elder. It's about 12:57, might as well say 1 a.m. here on the East Coast. And I just wanted to go live for a few minutes for the new moon, just to do a little something. I know H.O.I Philly was live, probably a few other states. I was out at camp. Shout out to H.O.I NY and J, Micah Allah Aishiyah. We did a little pre-new moon camp today out in Brooklyn for a couple of hours. So I didn't catch which lives was which H.O.I lives was on. But shout out to H.O.I Philly, Kasaja and Yatai, for holding it down. I think some of the other states might have been live, but I just wanted to come live for a few minutes just to put a little vibration out for the new moon. Salakia, all praise to the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua. I hope everybody's well. Shalak Yahweh, Shalom, Shalom. I hope everybody's well in the spirit. Bear with me. I'm gonna do the best I can. I got a slight headache, but I'm gonna do the best I can. The stress of this kingdom. But yeah, I want to come and talk to the family a little bit tonight. You know, Ashar Kadash Rock. Just go over one or two things and get a couple of new moon scriptures, and that'll be that for this little quick lesson. You know, we always try to do something, you know, for the new moon. If we're not renting out a place and bringing all the family together to gather, most of us, you know, a lot of us will keep it at home and just go live from home, or, you know, watch the lives, the different H.O.I lives that come on. Elon, Ariel, Shalom, Shalom family, Shalom. So, tonight I want to talk about something a little bit different in the spirit, right? If y'all see the title of the room, I mean, we're not on Clubhouse, not the room. If y'all see the title of the video, it's Ashar Kadash Rock, or Happy in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. That's Happy New Moon, 5th month. And the death of THEO HUXTABLE. The death of THEO HUXTABLE. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. We got 19 people in here, 7 likes. Hit the like button. Let the likes match the people that are in here that are viewing. People may not be people in the truth in this room. People just curious, whatever. But Israel, hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing but a click of the finger. Hit the like button to get the algorithm going. This word got to get out in these last days. So, Shalom, first and foremost, everybody. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushai, whom the world ignorantly calls God in Jesus Christ. Hope everybody's blessed, having a blessed week. Going into almost the weekend, the Shabbat and the weekend. So I hope everybody is blessed. Shalom, Issachar, Kwame Yashala. Hope all is well out there on the West Coast. So tonight I want to talk about something a little different, right? The death of THEO HUXTABLE. Now, I don't say that out of disrespect. Of course, the brother's name was Malcolm Jamal Warner. His name is Malcolm Jamal Warner because his spirit lives on. All right. Who's that? Wake Up Israel. Shalom Elder. Watching before I go to the plantation. Shalom. Who's that? Who's a Wake Up Israel? I be forgetting y'all YouTube screen names. Salakia, y'all. Watching before you go to plantation. All praises. Khan. 1 o'clock in the morning. You must be got that super duper early shift. So, it's something I want to touch on concerning this whole, well, not really Malcolm Jamal Warner's death. I still don't know all the details. I saw them in the media sporadic. Evidently, he was on vacation in Costa Rica with his daughter, I believe, and he got sucked into the current and he got swept off. And him and his daughter, they was able to get to his daughter and save her. They tried to get to him and commit CPR, whatever, but he already had gone into asphyxiation. He stopped breathing and he passed away, unfortunately. Oh, you in the UK, Shalom. So may the brother rest in peace and rest in power. And if the Most High have mercy on his spirit and resurrect him, we'll see him in the kingdom. I don't know what the brother believed, and I don't know about his spirituality, or I don't know if he knew anything about the truth. I'm still doing research because I just remember him from the Cosby Show and you know, Theo Huxtable, right? But no disrespect to the brother, all right? Of course, his name is Malcolm Jamal Warner, and you know, we knew him as a household name under Theo Huxtable. Hit the like button, y'all. So what I want to first go into is, listen, Israel, death can come at any time. Now, allegedly, Malcolm Jamal Warner was 54 years old. The brother was in everybody said pretty good health from what reports say. I don't know if the brother had whatever. But evidently he didn't die from a sickness or nothing. I don't know. I haven't seen if there's any conspiracies behind the brother's death. He was a pretty clean-cut guy. I didn't hear him speaking a lot against the government or, yo, Hollywood owe me money. He was just a pretty clean-cut guy. Never heard no scandals with Malcolm Jamal Warner or nothing. The brother, basically, from what I know, there could be stuff behind the scenes. There it's still early, stuff could come out. I don't know. But what I want to stress, Israel, I want to take this as a teachable moment and say, look, you never know when death can come. So live your life every day for the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. All right? Let's go to Sirach in the Apocrypha. Let's go to Sirach. Salakia, bear with me. This is kind of an impromptu lesson, so bear with me, y'all. I am going to bear with me. You gotta live every moment of your life to you know, to the glorification of the Most High at all times. All right, you have to, Israel. You have to understand and consider that, right? So, Salakia. All right, this is, I want Sirach 40 and 26, and it reads, riches and strength lift up the heart, but the fear of the Lord is above them both. See, you can have riches, you can have strength. I don't know how rich, I don't know how much Malcolm Jamal Warner was worth, but you can have riches. You know, the brother evidently was a Hollywood actor. He made some money in Hollywood. They say 54 years old. They said the brother was in good health. But you can have that. But like I said, I don't know Malcolm Jamal's Warner relationship with the Most High and the truth. I don't know if he might have knew he was Israel behind the scenes. I never heard him say nothing publicly. But anyway, let me read it again. Sirach 40 and 26. Riches and strength lift up the heart, but the fear of the Lord is above them both. There is no want in the fear of the Lord, and it needeth not to seek help. The fear of the Lord is a fruitful garden, and covereth him above all glory. Salakia. Yeah, and so why am I going here? Because I'm bringing this out to say, no matter what state you're in life, physically, mentally, financially, whatever the case may be. You got power, you got all these connections, you're well respected, you're loved. Above that is the fear of the Most High. And that's what keeps you and gives you life. If you got the fear of the Most High, that's what keeps you and gives you life. So you could be a celebrity, you can be whatever. When the Most High says time is time, and you know, you know, your status or who you may be in the world, the Most High don't care nothing about that. All right, this is Sirach also. I'm going in the spirit here, y'all. Salakia. Let me see what I want. Salakia. You know, because we have to understand, you know, everything you got to give total honor and respect and love to the Most High. And you know, you just got to put him first, no matter what your status is financially, whatever the case may be. You're a star, you're a celebrity, you know, whatever the case may be. You got to give it up to the Most High. All right. Sirach 11:14. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushai. All right. So, who's on here? I will address that in a minute. Right. Again, Sirach 11:14. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord. So, you know, guy like Malcolm Jamal Warner, pretty well loved. THEO HUXTABLE. I think Bill Cosby was considered America's dad. Malcolm Jamal Warner was considered America's son. They were like the epitome of the household family structure in the 80s. And that was a black sitcom, but we're going to get into that in a minute. I'm just talking about how you can be in good spirits and good health. You can be well liked by the people. You can have a little bit of money, fame, notoriety, connections, know people in high places. But the fear of the Lord is above all of that. The only thing that's going to keep you in the day of death, or when the Lord say that it's time to go, is the fear of the Most High. That's it. You know, that is it, Israel. So understand that, and let's always keep our, you know, our spirit with the Most High. Let's get into just a few classics on death. Let's get Psalms. Let's get Psalm 68 and 20. Oh man. Salaki, I'm trying to block these people up out of here, but my screen is freezing. I mean, it's not letting me click on their comments so I could block them. Because they starting with their nonsense already. I may have to go out and come in, y'all, because it's not letting me click on their comments so I can block them. I don't know why is it doing that. I don't know why it's doing that. Salakia, give me a minute. Maybe I don't know why my screen is freezing. Salakia, y'all. Bear with me. I know Truth Speak TV. I know about that, but I still want to know why it's not allowing me to click on the comments. I don't really care about the comments. I was going to block some people, but I'm just wondering why it's not letting me click on. It's free. My screen is freezing. Damn. But anyway, yeah. Nah, I know I can get right through the comments. It's not a problem. But anyway, Psalm 68 and verse 20. All right, Psalm 68 and verse 20. He that is our power is the God of salvation, and unto Yahweh the power belong the issues from death. So a lot of people were saying, damn, this hit hard. The death of Malcolm Jamal Warner hit hard because he was 54, which is considered still pretty young. He was in good health as far as nobody no health issues, but a freak accident, right? And nothing's an accident. That's what they call it. The Most High just said it's it's just time for him to go. That's all. The Most High just said it was time to go. Psalm 68 and 20 again. He that is our power is the power of salvation, and unto the power Yahweh belong the issues from death. All right, let's get the other classic, Ecclesiastes 3 and 1. So I'm showing y'all because a lot of times Israel, y'all get into y'all celebrity worship and y'all get all emotional and y'all, oh my God, look, most I say it's time to go, it's time to go. That's it. All right. So this is Ecclesiastes 3 and 2. We might as well start at 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. So just so everybody can understand, there is a time when the Most High say it's our time, it's our time. It might be your favorite celebrity. A person might be in good health. They might seem like they always got a positive attitude. They put their best on the outside. They got a little bit of money or maybe a lot of money. They doing pretty good. Like I said, it doesn't matter. When the Lord says it's time to go, it's time to go. Right? And I know y'all pretty much understand that. Salaki, this thing is not letting me click on. I'm just trying to understand why is it freezing on me. I do want to block some people, but I don't understand why it's freezing up. But anyway, you got to understand that. So with that being said, the brother got sucked into this current or whatever. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just getting the details as they go along. But I want to touch on something a little different from a different perspective. Now, the Cosby Show aired, I think it was on for 8 seasons. I think they had over like 200 episodes, something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I read about it. But the Cosby Show aired from 1984 to 1992, right? It was a controversial show because it was based upon some black professionals, right? Black professionals that were down to earth, not bougie and stuck up, but they were down to earth, but they were hardworking people that had careers that normally are not associated with a so-called African American. Bill Cosby was a doctor, and Claire Huxtable, Felicia Rashad, was a lawyer. So that made some people mad because of the racism of so-called white America. Ezekiel 35 and 5, thou hast had a perpetual hatred. They didn't like that. That's not reality. How many black families you really know where the father is a doctor and the mother's a lawyer? I think Cliff was an obstetrician or something like that, if I'm saying it right, Salakia. But either way, a doctor and a lawyer, a black man doctor and a black woman lawyer. So the racism of white America didn't like that, right? And initially, Bill Cosby wanted them to be blue collar workers, but they said no. Let's have them as black professionals, so that are not bougie, but more so down to earth. They're just successful, because a lot of times, so-called African Americans that are successful are associated with being bougie, and they can't relate to their own people. And we're gonna get into that dynamic with that whole controversy with Bill Cosby when he was making those speeches. But I just wanted to bring out that the Cosby Show ran from 1984 to 1992, and It became the biggest show on TV. It revived. It basically saved NBC, as quiet as it's kept. A lot of people don't know that. The Cosby Show saved the NBC network. Y'all can look it up. It saved the sitcom genre because a lot of sitcoms was becoming unpopular. So the Cosby Show, it brought up, it made like, I think something like so many billions of dollars. So the Cosby Show broke records. You know, Bill Cosby was known as America's dad. Felicia Rashad was America's mom. Theo Huxtable, he was known as America's son. Very popular show, and it was a predominantly black cast, right? And a lot of white supremacists didn't like that. On the other hand, some black people didn't like it because they said it's ignoring the issues of poverty and the struggle with so-called black America, so-called African Americans, the tribe of Judah, right? So it got its critique because they was like, that's not keeping it real with our condition. But what the Cosby Show did was it kind of brought the black professional to the forefront and gave them a little bit more self-esteem because the Ariyah Khan, Shalom, because now some of the black professionals that weren't sellouts, they was just like, we worked hard and we just wanted a better life for ourselves in this country, right? A lot of the black community looked down on them like, oh, you a sellout, you moved out of the neighborhood. And they damn sure were not accepted by white America. So they were kind of stuck in the middle. So it gave Shalom Maria, it gave the black professional a little bit more courage, and it gave them encouragement and enthusiasm to say, I can be, Shalom, I can be successful and just be down to earth. I don't have to be bougie or a sellout. And I don't have to be, I don't have to want to be accepted by white America. Now, believe it or not, and some of y'all might say, well, what does got to do with the truth, Elder? We're going to show, just relax. Believe it or not, the Cosby Show I was checking out a documentary or something on a Cosby Show. I don't know. I forget what it was, but I know. I have no reason to bear false witness. Right? What you laughing at, Aria? Kind. I have no reason to bear false witness, but I remember seeing on a documentary about the Cosby Show. Some of y'all might have saw it. It brought out that the Cosby Show also brought self-esteem to the so-called black community because of the depression and the sadness that the crack era had brought to our people. Seeing these images on TV gave our people a sense of hope. I know that's crazy, and I know, well, what they got to do with the truth of the Most High? I'm going to show you. You know what that got to do with the truth of the Most High? The Most High knows how to use the media. Yeah, right. Yeah, taught strength to the black household. Going to college was a thing. Listen, that show brought enthusiasm to the tribe of Judah. Now, why do I say that? Because the Most High knows what to use. The Most High knows how to use the media and different things because he know that's what people listen to. Our elders was on the street corners in the 80s. Some of our elders said they've been doing camp since the late 70s. So by 84, they were on the street corners, but that was the start of the crack epidemic. Crack started in like 1983. The late 70s, early 80s, it was known as freebase. I know because I literally saw crack come into the streets of New York City. I'm not ashamed to say I had an uncle that used to freebase. He used to buy the crack. He used to buy the cocaine and cook it into freebase. But then I saw it. I was maybe 11, 12. I'm telling my age now. But I saw the transition into the crack. I saw my own sister. I ain't ashamed to say it. In 1983, I seen my own sister put the pipe to her mouth and smoke it. And I was like, what the hell is she doing? I was a child. I didn't know. I was like, what, 11, 12? I was like, what the hell is she doing? I didn't know. Later on, of course. So I say all that to say, it was so much depression, crime, violence, and sadness, and loss of self-esteem from that crack epidemic, seeing that positive image on TV brought back some sense of self-esteem to the so-called black community, African-American community, tribe of Judah, and maybe even Benjamin, Levi, whatever. But some of the other tribes, the crack didn't affect them as bad as it affected Judah, except for maybe like Ephraim. And where I grew up at East New York, Brooklyn, a lot of the crackheads were Judah and Ephraim. I'm going to just say it. The rest of the tribes, you maybe had a little bit of Benjamin or whatever here and there, but a lot of other tribes didn't get hooked on the crack like that, maybe until later on. And it still wasn't like Judah and Ephraim. When it comes to the 12 tribes, to me, in my experience, the biggest... Yeah. Brother Arias said where he's from in San Diego, the crack thing was bad. It was sad, yeah. Where I'm from in East New York, Brooklyn, it was bad. I seen my own uncle and sister when the crack stuff, when it transitioned from free base to crack. I witnessed it in my own family, my own uncle and my sister. May they both rest in peace. All right, and that addiction led basically to both of their deaths. So I witnessed it. I can testify. But I say all that to say the Lord used, is all the Most High. The Lord used a TV show because he knew that's something that can get people's attention. Our elders, they were on the streets teaching back then. I remember I got old videos of High Priest Yeshaya in Times Square. Old VHS videos, and Yeshaya's out here. It's goddamn 1986, and all you niggas want is some damn crack. I got old videos of that. So that epidemic hit our people so bad, the Most High knew how to use certain things. Of course, with our elders teaching on the street. But the Most High knew how to use the media and a television show to still instill some value in our people. All right. Yeah, it's like crack fell out of the damn sky, man. I'm going to go to Lamentations 3:22. Let's get some scripture in there. I've been talking. Let's get some precepts in there. So that's the point that I'm kind of going into tonight, y'all, concerning this whole death of THEO HUXTABLE. It just reminds me back to that Cosby show, the 80s, that whole crack epidemic, but this show being some form of a positive image on TV to give our people some form of hope. But that was all the Most High using the media to do that for our people. Let's get Lamentations 3:22. And it reads thus and so. Salakia. Lamentations, Jeremiah. Lamentations 3:22. It all goes back. When you talking about a TV show saved us, elder? No, before anybody gets simple, that's not what I'm saying. But the Most High knows how to use certain things to instill some kind of positivity in our people. Lamentations 3:22. It is of Yahweh's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. And I remember reading about that somewhere. They said that show kind of helped bring back some sense of self-esteem. Then you had the spinoff, A Different World, right? Where, they went off to college, right? And then that instilled young so-called African Americans to want to go to college. Wynn said, what is the topic? Look at the title of the video. All right. So y'all coming in here in 2 seconds. What's the topic? Look at the title of the video, right? Or just listen along and you'll catch up. So my point being, the Most High can use anything, media, television, anything. But Lamentations 3:22. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. This is all of the Most High. So the Most High can use TV, media, anything he want. Let's go from there to Sirach. Let's go to Sirach 13 and 23. We're going to go to Sirach 13:23. Not going to be on this long. Sirach 13 and 23. And it reads, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue. And look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. Now, why did I bring that out? Because the Lord said, when a rich man speak. So a lot of times our people, they need a celebrity. They need somebody famous. They need somebody with money. So what did the Lord do? The Lord used the TV show, because he said, y'all like TV, y'all like to be entertained. Bill Cosby is famous. He got the #1 sitcom show on TV. Y'all will look at that. So through that positive image, it will give y'all some kind of hope to overcome this depression and sadness and violence of this crack epidemic in the 80s, along with other social things. Because the crack epidemic is one of the main things that broke up the family structure. All right? It broke up the family structure. Let's go to the curse. Deuteronomy 28. And do you know the government, George W. Senior Bush, Shalom, Aisha, y'all in the building. Kwame Shalom. All right? Let me see. Deuteronomy 28 and let me see what I want. Yeah, 54. All right, the breakup of the family structure. But a lot of people don't know. There's a couple of books, Ruled by Secrecy, The Immaculate Conception, The Immaculate Deception, The Bush Crime Family Exposed. It's books in history that tell you George W. Bush Sr. was the director of the, I brought this out many times. He was the director of the CIA from 1977 to 1978, 1 year. That's why the CIA is also known as the George H. Bush Center for Intelligence, or something to that effect. Senior Bush name is on the CIA. He was director for 1 year, 1977 to 1978, I believe. And they brought out that when he was director of the CIA, cocaine importation into the United States rose by 1,000%. You know why? Because he was using his connections through the CIA to smuggle tons of cocaine into the country. That's why there was so much coke in the 80s. That was all that surplus coke that George W. Bush and the CIA and the Navy and the Coast Guard, everybody that was involved, was smuggling into the damn country. So when the 80s came, they had to have a way to get rid of all this cocaine. George W. Bush said in the 1970s, Black African American culture is being too much of an influence on our children. We are losing our whiteness. We need some kind of plague, drug, whatever, to destabilize the Black community. This is on record, y'all. If I do another part to this, I'll pull up the receipts. Right? We need to, yeah, the Contra scandal, all that. Yeah, the hood was getting rich, all of that. I'm going to touch on that. We need a way to destabilize so-called Black people and make money and get rid of all this coke. They kind of break it down in the movie New Jack City. When Nino was like, Wesley Snipes was like, yo, people want to get real high real fast. And there was a lot of depression going on in our community, unemployment. It was the breakup of the family structure from the 70s. So they said, let's bring in this quick, fast high. Yeah, I don't have no printer. I've been speaking about the Illuminati since 9/11 and before that, you know. Um, so they had all this surplus cocaine, so they said we need to get crack was made up in a lab somewhere. Ain't no Negro in the projects in Harlem or in the damn streets of East New York or the damn hood of Chicago went and sat down and thought about cooking some damn cocaine and making it concentrated. That was made up in a CIA lab somewhere. Because remember, crack used to be, I believe, they used to put ammonia in crack in the beginning. They used to cook it with ammonia, but then later on it was baking soda and other stuff. You know I sold it. I'm guilty of it. I used to sell crack. Yes, I did. I sold crack in my own neighborhood, Virginia, D.C. I was hustling back then. You know, I repented from that. That's the power of the Most High. But anyway, it was the breakup of the family. So much was going on with us as a people in the 80s. The Cosby Show was like a breath of fresh air. Right. Ain't no poppy fields in Harlem. Nino Brown. So with a strong black family on TV, and they had all the daughters, but they had a son. Theo, he wasn't no thug, he wasn't wild, he wasn't simple. He was just your everyday average teenager, smart, trying to have fun and live his life. Right? So that brought a positive image back to the so-called family structure where it was so much trying to destroy the family structure. Right? Deuteronomy 28:54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. The breakup of the family structure. Papa was a rolling stone. What happened? We lost a lot of our brothers in the crack epidemic to what? The murders and the jail. And some of them got smoked out on the crack. I know quite a few dudes. The dudes start what G Money have brought together, let not man put asunder. Niggas start getting high. And they was hustling, and they start getting high. Sold all they jewelry, niggas got skinny. Yo, what happened to the 190 Benz, son? Everybody and their mama had a 190 Benz. We was in high school. I was in high school. Dudes was dropping out of high school and coming back 30 days later with 190E Benzes. This crack thing, y'all know, the whole crack epidemic, you know, I talk about that because I witnessed that era. And what it is, it's a encouraging testimony because I made it through that era. I didn't get caught. I didn't get killed. I didn't get smoked out. Hell no, I wasn't doing that. I was too afraid of what I saw it do to other people. And I was never into any hardcore drugs. I saw what it did to people. Hell no. But I made it through. Because right after that, early 90s, Most High, by the grace of the Most High, I came into the truth. But I lived through all that. I lived through people dying, going to jail, being murdered, seeing dudes 14, 15 years old pulling $10,000 out of their pocket. Dudes telling me, son, leave school, come get this money with me. I'm like, nah, man. What y'all doing seemed dangerous. I didn't get into the hustle game until later on. I was out of high school. Not that that make a difference, but you know. So I'm just saying that this death of Malcolm Jamal Warner, it brings back that whole era. All right. Oh man, I want to block some of these people so bad, but this damn thing is freezing up on me. I can't believe this. This thing is, we just got to deal with the scoffing comments tonight. So the breakup of the family structure, but it showed a positive image. So Sirach 13:23, it says, "Oh, when a rich man speak." So it was in a sense of it had to be Hollywood or a TV show to speak to our people, to give them one little sense of hope that, hey, all is not lost. This crack epidemic is not going to totally destroy us as a nation of people. Along with the brothers teaching on the street, because the truth was flourishing in the 80s also. A lot of our elder and senior brothers, they came in the 80s, and then that wave came in the early 90s because those brothers were being seasoned in the 80s. So, You know, this whole death of Theo Huxtable just made me reflect on that. All right, so let's go from there to Hosea. All right, let's go to Hosea, the 3rd chapter, right? Because what happened, the crack epidemic was supposed to destroy us. All right, it was supposed to destroy us, and the 70s, the coke and the heroin. The 60s and 70s was the coke and the heroin. Then you had the women's liberation movement. All these things was to break up and destroy the family structure. So I'm not saying, before anybody gets simple, I'm not saying a TV show saved us, but that was one of the catalysts that the Most High used to still put some kind of positive image amongst us as a people, even though the main positive image is this truth. So before anybody gets simple, you're putting a TV show above the Most High. No, don't get simple. All right, Hosea 3 and 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king. We didn't have a king for a long time. Our king is Yahweh in the spirit world. The Most High is the ultimate king. Yahweh is the king or the prince of the nations under him. And Most High will, if it be his will, we will be made kings and leaders on the earth when we given our power back. All right, and without a prince and without a sacrifice. Our Levites are not set up to offer the sacrifices to the Most High. And without an image. And that image goes into many layers. That image goes into many layers. All right, our image can represent, we don't know what the real Jews look like. Like Gamal Nasser said, remember Gamal Nasser said the real Jews left Israel black and came back white? Our images have been whitewashed. Our true images of our prophets and teachers, Yahweh Shai. Right. That's all I'm saying, Brother Jay. You're right. The TV show did bring some sense of hope to our people. I watched the documentary where they brought that out about the Cosby Show. But the true hope is in the faith, so nobody gets simple. That's all. I'm just reflecting on that era. That's all. And incorporating scripture into it. That's all I'm doing, Israel. Don't judge me. All right. But it says, and without an image, right? Our image was lost. And our image was, they wanted us to be damn crackhead, loser criminals, right? Yeah, I remember, Brother Ty, Brother Gabar, yeah. Those shows, listen, the Cosby Show, that Esau, whether they want to admit it or not, but you can look this up when you can look at the basic history of the Cosby Show. They tell you that show single-handedly saved the NBC network and brought back to life the sitcom genre of TV, because the sitcom genre was going down. That show broke records. Bill Cosby was the highest paid actor on TV. It was #1 for 5 seasons. It even helped to spark white Edomite shows. Right. The brother, son of Judah, said that show helped me to maintain values and morals. It is what it is. Yeah, Macabre said he saw the elders on fire. I saw the elders in the 80s. So it was a little bit of everything. But Brother Jay said it the best. The true hope is in the faith. That goes without saying. Because, you know, somebody will get simple. Elder trying to go into a TV show saving us? No. But I'm just talking about the dynamics of it and what was going. It was so much going on with us as a people at the time. The 80s was no joke. Y'all, there was a little bit of everything in the 80s. Right? The Edomites had the music. Even though we had the music, they never really had the music. 80s, all I got to mention is Michael Jackson and Prince. That's it. It's a wrap. And if you're on the female side, Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson. That's all we got to say. So Esau ain't never really had the music, but 80s was a big decade of music for Esau. All right? Yeah. That's why, I'm going to hit you with something. I'm going to go a little bit deeper here. Why I think they brought them bogus charges up on Bill Cosby? Because Bill Cosby had that squeaky clean record of being America's dad. Bill Cosby, a black man, became America's dad. They had to tarnish his legacy. Right? Right. That means Friends, Seinfeld. All that was birthed from the Cosby Show. And the Cosby Show brought a lot of black sitcoms. Like I said, A Different World, In Living Color, 227. A lot of them black sitcoms was able to come on and make money and things of that nature. Yeah, that show Good Times. Yeah, Bill Cosby wanted to buy NBC. They didn't like that. They said, "Oh nigga, you got a #1 show. Nigga, you get into Living Single, which Living Single was promoting lesbianism. It was potent. It was promoting lesbianism and that black woman, that single black woman. I don't need a black man. No more. Kingdom Minded 144K. You always coming up here talking about something that has nothing to do with the topic, brother. Guerrilla Hebrew. We're not talking about Guerrilla Hebrew not being in the community no more. Stop doing that, brother, or I'm going to block you off my channel. Because you always coming on here and you'll try to throw the topic off to something else. We're not talking about Guerrilla Hebrew. And Guerrilla Hebrew didn't say he's not an Israelite no more. Guerrilla Hebrew said that he's not dealing with Israel, with the community anymore. He's upset about how everybody responded to his issue. But that's another topic. So we're not dealing with, a lot of y'all, you love drama and sensationalism. All right. Some of y'all sent me the Guerrilla Hebrew video and y'all didn't even watch it. Right? Real quick, let me go to, I don't want to get sidetracked, but Sirach 11 and 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke. Some of y'all didn't even watch Guerrilla Hebrew's video. You just screenshot the title and sent it to me. Elder, you see this? I said, at least watch the video. Now, this is not about taking up for Guerrilla Hebrew. Guerrilla Hebrew can speak for himself. He's his own man. But as quiet as it's kept, that same night I spoke to Guerrilla Hebrew. And I asked him about the video. I said, what the hell is going on? I saw some of it, but I didn't hear all of it. But me and him was speaking on another issue. And I said, Ak, what's going on with this new video you put out? And he's like, oh, Ak, you know, the white man's still a devil. The white man's still a devil, whatever the case may be, whatever. I watched the video. I see where he's coming from. Do I agree with everything? No, but that man could speak for himself. He could speak for his position. He spoke for his position. He watched the video and you come to your own conclusion. At least you can say you heard everything the man said. And like I said, this is for clarity. This is not about taking up for Guerrilla Hebrew. I don't have to do that. The man can fight his own battle. But a lot of y'all stop running with the drama and the sensationalism, Israel. A lot of y'all, I said, so many people text me the screenshot. He left the nation, Israel. Elder, did you watch the video? Watch the video, then make your determination. I got to respect you if you do that. If you watch the video, then you make your determination. I got to respect that. Okay, fine. You feel the brother went off or whatever he's doing, fine. But stop just jumping with the drama, y'all. There's 1,000 other people that said they're not dealing with Israel no more. But because it's Guerrilla Hebrew, everybody got a damn conniption fit. Just calm down, Israel. Stop wanting to be damn entertained and so, oh my God, I'm clutching my pearls. He said he left the nation. Just relax. Watch the video. Okay, the brother ain't dealing with. I don't agree with that. Da, 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 da. Some of y'all feel like the spirit left the brother. All right. All right, so that's between him and the Most High. But that man can speak for himself. I'm not here to talk about Guerrilla Hebrew's video. I'm talking about what I'm talking about. All right. So you come in a room, brother, and right away you want to talk about Guerrilla Hebrew. All right. Now, anyway, it says Hosea 3 and 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without teraphim. You know, the different things that the priests wore. You know, you can read about the ephod and the teraphim in the book of Exodus. Verse 5, afterwards shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their power and David their king, and shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter days. So ultimately, it's not about chimp. The might listen and you'll know what I'm talking about. All right, you've been in here for 2 seconds, so just listen. All right. Right? So right, we're not dealing with the Human Genome Project right now. All right. So we would abide many years without an image. Right? Hold on. All right, this is the last time, and I'm gonna just go back to my topic. And I still love Gorilla Hebrew. He made a mistake and repented. These brothers are so quick to point out his faults, but I wonder what they be doing behind closed doors. Yeah, everybody gonna have their opinion. So back to my topic. If y'all asking or saying stuff that's off topic, I'm not gonna address it. So we would abide many years without an image. So part of what happened to us in the 70s, 80s, all these decades, even now, what is the so-called white? What is the government, America, trying to destroy us with now? Drill music, right? Ratchetness, all right? Just no morals amongst our people. I mean, it's just, they brought back the female rappers, but they whore them out. They ratchet, they hoard, they want to be gangsters. They got women like Scar Lip. This is New York. What the fuck I look like saying good morning? This is what our women supposed to represent? And if the rappers are not drill rappers murdering each other, they homosexuals. They had I think, they were showing somebody, little baby on the stage with some cut up shorts. Was that little baby with some cut up shorts and looking all effeminate? And they went back to an episode of the Boondocks where the Boondocks predicted that the rappers are going to become gay. So that's what's going on. They want to take away our image meaning the image of us being the Lord's people. So in the 80s, what I was talking about was the death of Malcolm Jamal Warner, THEO HUXTABLE. It just reminded me of the Cosby Show and how it had an effect on our people in the 80s. That's the topic. But of course, I'm incorporating scripture. All right. So, yeah. So let's go to the book of Salakia, Hosea 3 and 5 again. Afterwards shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their God. So no matter how much they try to destroy us with the crack epidemic in the 80s, and you did have the Cosby Show that, Shalom, my sister's in the building. Shalom, sis. Always good to see you. Right? See, wake up Israel. I don't mind that because that's on topic. Deuteronomy 22 and 5. Dressing like a damn woman. Putting on dresses. Right? So anyway, at the end of the day, I was just bringing out how the Cosby Show was a catalyst to help some of our people still have some sense of self-esteem in the 80s, why the Illuminati, the CIA, the government, the Bush administration, Reagan administration, they was trying to destroy us as a people. All right. But ultimately, it's not about Cliff Huxtable, Claire Huxtable, THEO Huxtable, the Cosby Show. It's about the Most High giving us back our self-esteem and encouragement to come back as his true chosen people, put on our true image as Israelites, repent and keep the commandments. So that's the ultimate moral of the story. All right. And David their king, and shall fear Yahweh and his goodness in the latter days. So although the Most High might have used certain things to encourage our people by way of media and celebrity. Look at Kyrie Irving. Look at Kanye West. When the Kyrie and Kanye controversy happened, I will say, what I can say is it did make a lot of people want to investigate Israel and see what is this Hebrew Israelite thing, or even if they said black Hebrew Israelite. Again, it goes back to Sirach 13 and 23. We don't have to get it. When a rich man speak, everybody listen. So when Kyrie and Kanye said that we are the real Jews, and Kyrie didn't even say it. Kyrie just shared a documentary from Hebrews to Negroes. How we went from being the Jews to just being Negroes. He just shared a documentary. And I think he said something to the effect of we are those people from back then or something like that. So the Most High can use media when the rich man speaks. Sirach 13:23, when a rich man speak, they extol his words. So now people like, wait a minute, them guys on the street corners, they've been saying this. I want to get the Hebrews and Negroes documentary. I want to read about this. And it even brought some people into the truth. It did. That Kyrie and Kanye controversy, it brought people into the truth. All right, but the Most High have a way of using celebrity, Hollywood, people with a voice to come back and further his word and his agenda. So that's what it's all about. He have a way of using media and different things to instill some pride in our people so that they don't totally be destroyed. These are all things the Most High is doing to preserve us as his people. All right, let's go from there to Psalms 50 and 16. Psalms 50 and 16. We're only going to get a few more. And that's all I just wanted to bring out on this topic. So rest in power to our brother THEO HUXTABLE, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Very intelligent brother. And Malcolm Jamal Warner, I was watching some videos on him. His father actually named him after Malcolm X. And he grew up learning about a lot of so-called African-American history. And Malcolm Jamal Warner, he was never in no scandal in Hollywood. I never heard no gay stuff. I don't think he never put on a dress. As far as I know. Now more stuff could come out. Because when somebody die, all kinds of information comes out. But, just reflecting on a brother and hold on, Truth Speak TV. Hold on. Let me stay on my topic. Hold on. I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to ask y'all if y'all have any few questions or comments that I can address. Hold on. Let me get through this. All right. Yeah. Brother Shem, he was a very intelligent brother, very clean-cut brother. And they said the brother was in good health. The brother always stayed positive. And he always, from what I see, he always played roles that was just pretty, clean-cut. He was Malcolm and Eddie when they had their show. So like I said, I haven't heard of any conspiracy or anything where the government wanted to kill him because he was doing something. I haven't heard none. It could have just been a so-called quote-unquote accident, which is not really an accident. The Most High just said it was time to go. That's all. All right. Psalms 50 and 16. It says, but unto the wicked Yahweh saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Saying thou hatest instruction and cast of my words behind thee. Anytime you are a people that want to take a drug, create a drug, and make it highly addictive and flood it into another nation of people's communities, you are evil-ass people, man. What have you to do to declare? What is the so-called white man doing with the Bible when they'll do something like that? And they show you that. They got an episode of what's that show? New York Undercover. It's called The Solomon Papers. I forget what season it is. It's New York Undercover. The episode is called The Solomon Papers, if I'm not mistaken. And it goes into how the CIA was bringing crack cocaine into the Black, Latino, and so-called minority communities. I believe that's the one. Is either Solomon Papers is two good episodes. Well, there was a lot of good episodes on that show. A lot of it dealt with art imitating life. One episode was about the assassination of Martin Luther King, and another episode was about the CIA bringing crack into the black neighborhoods. I think the one about the CIA was called the Solomon Papers. All right, but look up. They got New York Undercover. You can look up the episodes. Which episode talked about crack cocaine and the CIA, and it'll come. I think it was called the Solomon Papers. I forget what season. And and show. All right. So reading on, it says, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and has been partaker with adulterers. And the white man's the biggest damn thief and adulterer. You know why? Because he goes to people's countries, he bombs them, steal and take their mineral resources, like the Oppenheimers and the De Beers in Africa with the blood diamonds. And then they rape their women, sodomize them. Some of the women be married, man. Right. Okay. Season 3, episode 14. Okay, Khan. I got New York Undercover on my Hulu app. I can look it up also. Good episode. They show you right in that episode that the CIA was bringing crack into our neighborhood. Okay, so now, and even with the CIA with the Iran Contra scandal, man, they were taking the crack money, buying weapons, selling them to the Contras in the Iran Contra scandal, man. Y'all remember Oliver North? Remember Oliver North and Ronald Reagan got brought up on charges about the Iran Contra. Go and check out the history of that. That was all involving crack being sold in the Black and Latino community. So I'm incorporating that show with THEO HUXTABLE in the 80s, the Cosby Show, that giving a positive image in the media of a so-called black family brought some self-esteem back to our community because it was so much sadness and depression with that crack epidemic. That's what we're speaking about tonight. And of course, we're incorporating scripture. All right, so reading on, it says, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Yeah. George Senior Bush said, what we going to do with all this extra cocaine that I allowed y'all to bring into the United States when I was director of the CIA? We going to cook it up into little rocks, and we're going to sell it in the Black and Latino community. And they're going to smoke it. They're going to get highly addicted. They're going to lose hope. They're going to go to jail. They're going to kill each other. They young men going to drop out of school and start selling it. So they don't get an education and they get a criminal record. We're going to come up with the Rockefeller drug laws and lock these niggas up for exuberant numbers of years. And we're going to destroy that Black and Latino community. But the Most High had mercy by the truth, of course, being on the streets, media, certain TV shows like the Cosby's, THEO HUXTABLE, giving some kind of hope and enthusiasm to our people in such a dark time in our history. That's what I'm going into. And of course, through the spirit and power of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, the Most High knows how to use the media to continue to reserve our people, to bring some sense of self-esteem to them. But it's all of the Most High, right? Reading on, it says, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thy own mother's son, right? Remember, Aisha, y'all still on here? Remember Nino Brown in New Jack City? Ain't no Uzis made in Harlem. Nobody up here owns a poppy field. In other words, Nino was like, y'all making us the bagger, and that's what white America did. George W. Bush, this damn demon, he sat in the White House and held up a vial of crack, which was probably soap. He probably smoked the real damn crack. He held up the vial of crack and said, this was bought 100 yards away from the White House. Evidently, they claim they sent the undercover person, and the person was able to buy crack right near a park near the White House. You know what I'm saying? That's what they claim. This was bought 100 yards from the White House. I don't know if they were talking about the park, the Lafayette Park that we be teaching in. Remember last year, they found coke and crack in the White House from damn Biden's son. Hunter Biden was in there hunting for the crack rocks that he dropped on the floor. They found crack and coke in the White House. The hell with George Bush talking about this was sold, this was bought 100 yards from the White House. Yeah, because your ass put it there to be sold. So I gotta go do a separate show for that. Showing you how that damn Senior Bush, that is your top crack dealer. The hell with Pablo Escobar and all them dudes. Griselda and Fat Cat and Alpo and AZ and nah. Thou, Salakia, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. Remember Larry Davis? Larry Davis said, the same cops that came to arrest me, they gave me the crack and the guns. That's why when Larry Davis was barricaded in the house, he called for the FBI. He said, I will not submit to the NYPD. The NYPD gonna kill me because they know I got the evidence that they was giving me the crack, the coke, and the guns. And Larry Davis turned on the NYPD because they was giving his woman crack. His woman was struggling with a crack addiction. She was trying to get off. She was trying to go to rehab back and forth. But the same two detectives that was giving Larry Davis to crack the cell, they was giving his wife the crack for free to continue to stay high. And that's why Larry Davis got mad and turned on them and said he going to turn against those police and expose what they was doing. That crack era was no joke, man. All right. But what happened when the smoke cleared? Rockefeller drug laws. It's these crack kingpins in the city. They know it's the CIA, the government, George Bush, the Illuminati, the White House, the Navy, the Coast Guard, the Air Force. That's bringing in the damn crack, coke, and the drugs, man. Y'all need to watch a movie called Double Cross. Watch a movie called Air America. Watch Lethal Weapon 1. All these movies show you that the government, the CIA, the Navy, the Air Force, they was bringing the drugs into the country. So it all goes back to this death of THEO HUXTABLE and how that 80s era, of course, is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed. But that TV show brought some sense of dignity to our people. And the Most High used that because it's TV. And our people, Sirach 13:23, they'll listen to a rich man. They'll listen to somebody famous. Our elders were on the street teaching our people, but the Lord used that to continue to bring some form of dignity into us and self-esteem. And our whole damn community didn't get smoked out on crack. Along, of course, first and foremost, with the mercy of the Most High. All right, but when the smoke cleared, they said it's the black drug dealer in the hood. Psalms 50 and 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thy own mother's son. Because remember, Esau and Jacob was brothers. We came out the same womb. We were fraternal twins. We became two different nations, but technically we were brothers. Right. The sole witness is a wonder there was any faith left in the government after that era. There was no real faith in the government. You know why people believe in the government now? Because they just want something to hold on to. But anybody that really studied the dynamics of this country and this government, it shouldn't be a soul that really believe in this government. If people do say they still believe in the government, which they do, they just trying to have some false sense of hope. You see, they still believe in the government because we see them on all the presidential campaigns. But if you really study this country and its history, oh, wait a minute. A lot of the wrongdoing that they did was towards the Black and Latino community. It was towards the 12 tribes of Israel. So they don't count. And it was put in their face. Like I said, they made movies about it and didn't hide it. Above the Law with Steven Seagal. Check out Above the Law. The government involved in the drug trade. Art imitating life. Oh, that's just Hollywood. Nope. That's what they bank on you thinking. All right, reading on, it says, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself. Esau think he gonna get away with all this. Or I can put a ton of crack in the Black and Latino community, destroy a whole generation of people. Judge Mathis talk about it all the time. Judge Mathis talk about how the crack epidemic was so bad, it destroyed multiple generations of our people. Judge Mathis talk about it all the time. How it destroyed multiple generations of our people. The crack epidemic. So, Salaki, I had to adjust my stand. It's a little awkward, but I'm Salakia. Right? Judge Mathis always go in on that, how it destroyed so many generations of our people. That so-called crack epidemic. So we can go, we can go on and on, but okay, that's better. Let me adjust this stand, y'all. Okay. All right, but it says, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. So no matter what you tried, Esau, so-called white, you forget Yahweh. You forget Yahweh, he'll tell you in pieces. He'll tell you in pieces. All right. Psalms 50 and 22. Can y'all hear me now? All right. Psalms 50 and 22. Now consider this, ye that forget Yahweh, lest I tear you in pieces and there be none to deliver you. Whoso offereth praise glorifieth me, and to him that ordereth his conversation aright will I show the salvation of Yahweh. So no matter what the government tried to do to us, and whether it's the Most High used the TV show, whatever, the Most High could use anything. Look at the O.J. Simpson. Look at the O.J. Simpson trial. The O.J. Simpson trial almost sparked a race war in this country, right? And doesn't the Bible speak about a race war? Yes, let's get it. All right, let's get it. Zechariah 9. All right, y'all Precepticons out there, y'all know the scriptures. Doesn't the Bible speak about a race war? Yes. Doesn't the Bible prophesy a race war? It just, the Most High, for whatever reason, the Most High said, nah, not now. So, the Most High does that. He let things swell up and then he calm them down because he say, no, it's not time yet. But I'm showing you evidence that it's in the air. Zechariah 9 and 12. And it reads thus and so. Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, which are the Israelite men, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. See that? So the Lord said he's going to raise up the sons of Zion against the sons of Greece. Y'all remember the OJ trial? Not guilty. They showed the white audience reaction. Then they showed the black audience reaction. And blacks and whites was getting into it, man. We was right on the cusp of a race war right here in this country. But the Most High said no, it wasn't time. So the Most High could use it. The Most High used the OJ trial. A black man accused of killing a white woman that he should have never been married to anyway because she was a cocaine sniffing whore, a crackhead whore. And her drug debts is what most likely got her killed by them Colombian hitmen with them knives. Them Northern Kingdom, not the stereotype, but they like them knives. It's a quiet death and it's a personal death. That's how, not all, that Northern Kingdom, they'll shoot you too. But they'll cut you the hell up too. You seen Scarface? They was going to put a damn chainsaw to damn Tony Montana. Right? They'll cut you up in the Northern Kingdom. And them Colombians, man, they will cut your ass up. They talked about Griselda Blanco, how she used to have people killed, man. You know what I'm saying? So, OJ, with the situation with OJ, let's get, the Most High could use anything. The Most High used a black man that was married to a white woman. She got violently killed, and then he got off for killing her, and the Most High could have used that to start a race war. But it just wasn't time for the full-out race war. But it was like, it was a lot of racial tension in the air and like a lot of little mini racial things going on with people. This is Ecclesiastes 7:12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. A lot of people was just mad at the fact that O.J. Simpson was able to pay for a defense. To pay, he had the dream team. Johnny Cochran, they were sore losers and tried to say, you played the race card. They tried to say you played the race card. No. He was a black man with some damn bread that was able to buy him a good defense. That's all that was. That's all OJ did, like so many white people do. So that's why the Bible says, for wisdom is a defense and money is a defense. Well, literally in this case, he was able to buy some expensive defense lawyers. And that's all. OJ just has some good-ass lawyers that ate that damn case up. Mark Furman was a lying damn white supremacist devil demon. Said he never used the N-word. They had him on tape over 200 times. They had him admitting to planting evidence on black suspects. They had him admitting to wanting to kill black suspects. And the prosecution had a sloppy, messy-ass case. Right? Sometimes a well-organized lie can defeat a disorganized truth. But it was an organized truth against a very disorganized lie. Martha Clark and them was finished, man. And what's the brother's name? Christopher Darden. They were finished, man. Johnny Cochran ate they ass alive. And that's because OJ had some money. If OJ was poor, his ass would have been under. His ass would be in San Quentin rotting right now. Or whatever damn Cali prison they would have put him in. All right, so that's all that happened with OJ. But I'm saying the Lord can use stuff like that to bring about prophecy. There was almost a race war that broke off of that OJ trial. So that's all I'm bringing in, the media. So again, rest in peace. Salakia, I'm talking with this lips because I'm still, I had some work done on my teeth, Salakia, y'all. I'm still getting used to it. So that's why if y'all hear me sometime talk with a lisp or stumble over my words, I'm still getting my gibberish straight. But they got my gibberish straight. They finally got them straight. I just got to get used to them. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. No folly. So yeah, that's pretty much I want to speak on that. Rest in power to the brother THEO HUXTABLE, I said, but Malcolm Jamal Warner. The brother, pretty decent brother, man. I never heard nothing bad about the brother. I always liked his acting. And it's funny because I just thought about that. It's funny because I just brought up OJ. And remember, he played OJ's friend in the White Bronco in the Netflix OJ Simpson movie. I believe, or one of them OJ Simpson's movie. Malcolm Jamal Warner played, I forget OJ's man that was in the White Bronco with him. But Malcolm Jamal Warner, Cuba Gooding Jr. played OJ. But Malcolm Jamal Warner played OJ's good friend. I forget his name. Y'all put his name in the comments if y'all remember. But that's all. I'm just showing how the Most High, that 80s crack epidemic was so bad on our people. The Most High used things like the Cosby Show and different things to keep some kind of, dignity amongst our people in such a dark time. Is all the credit goes to the Most High. But what do we put our true dignity in? Repenting and coming back and being the 12 tribes of Israel. A.C. Collins, yeah, the water. Thanks, King. This is Hosea 1:11. And this will be my last one. I'm going to get like 2 or 3 new moon scriptures and we're going to close it out. Farrakhan is very eloquent, but he got to teach our people the truth. He got to teach our people that they're the Israelites. He said that one time in 2010 and then went back to Islam and Scientology with L. Ron Hubbard and all this other stuff. Farrakhan got to bring it home and repent and come back to us being the Israelites. If he's an Israelite, because I hear he got a white father, but I've been trying to research that thing for years and it's still kind of unclear. To me, at least, according to my research. Kingdom minded. We're not talking about my sleep pattern, brother. Yo, I got to know who you are one day. Hosea 1:11. Hosea 1:10, Salakia. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power. So, like I brought out the scripture in Sirach 13:23 and Kyrie and Kanye, the Most High can use the media and rich celebrities, sports figures, talk show hosts like the other brother, even though he retracted, what's his name? The Wildin' Out dude, Nick Cannon, right? The Lord can use these public figures to further push the truth because at best, people are going to get curious when it becomes a issue in the media. Just like the Lord used the Cosby Show, so a lot of Negroes didn't feel like, yo, we ain't got no hope. This crack will destroy us. All right. So, but at the end of the day, nobody gets simple. It's all about the Most High. He uses media and different things and voices in the media. Just like Bill Cosby, man, some years ago when Bill Cosby was going on those rants for lack of a better word, and he was telling black people, pull yourself up by the bootstrap. Stop walking around with your pants hanging off your behind. Get an education. Don't worry about a pair of Jordans. And a lot of so-called black people didn't like that because they felt like Cosby was scorning them. No, I just felt like Cosby was checking certain off. He was getting tired of the off behavior. They thought he was coming from the bougie Negro syndrome. Oh, I'm better than y'all. Nah, I agree with Cosby during that time. He was getting on the ghetto behavior of our people. So the Most High will use a voice that's well known to send a message to the people. It's still all of the Most High. But the ultimate message he's going to use is this truth. And the Lord said he's going to use the foolishness of preaching. Ultimately, the people going to hear this truth. I'm going to get another precept for that. But ye shall, Salakia, and it shall come to pass the middle of Hosea 1:10, that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power. And we know Exodus 4:22 says, the Most High's sons are the children of Israel, are the men of Israel. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel, the sowing and the reaping of the children of Israel, the gathering of the children of Israel. All right, that one head, the ultimate head is H.O.I. You're going to have King David, the 12 disciples, and the elect. You're going to have the order on the earth. But the true, really the one head is the Most High. But it's an order, it's a chain of command. H.O.I, King David, the 12, and it trickles down. All right, but that's what we're going to do. One more, Isaiah 30. I know I said Hosea. Well, this is the last one on this topic. I'm going to get a couple of new moon scriptures. We're going to close it out. It's 2:20. And kingdom-minded, yes, I do. Just to answer your question while I find the scripture. Yes, brother, I do get sleep when I'm able to get sleep. All right, I just go live late a lot of times on feast days because other brothers go live during prime hours. So I don't want, some people just like to watch live or they just got to watch the playback the next day. All right. Right. Say it again. I don't think he said that to look good in front of white people. I think Cosby was just like, I'm tired of you niggas. That's my personal opinion. Now, if he was cooning for Esau, all right, if he was cooning for Esau, then I don't know. I don't, but I didn't get that. I didn't get that. All right. I got that he was tired of niggas and they bullshit. Excuse my language. Excuse my Salaki. Excuse me. I think Cosby was just like, you niggas are getting on my last nerve with y'all behavior. Right? So I don't know, but he might have been cooning, but I don't know. All right. Isaiah 1 and No, what did I say? Isaiah 30 and 20, Salakia. My bad. Isaiah 30 and 20. And it reads thus and so. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers. So at the end of the day, it's not the Cosby Show. It's not Theo Huxtable. It's not Bill Cosby. It's not Cliff Huxtable. It's not a fantasy TV show, it was good for imaging. It's not even Kyrie Irving or Kanye West, because they said what they said, but they ain't really on the front line teaching this word. It's going to be the teachers that's going to wake the people up. So again, y'all know one of my mottos, don't get simple. It all goes back to the Most High is going to be the motivation and give us the dignity and the pride and righteousness according to our identity. Not a TV show or nothing like that. I'm just using it as a talking point. Right? And thine eyes and thy ears shall hear a word behind thee saying, this is the way, walk ye in it when you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left. So what's going to ultimately wake our people up? Being taught the Bible, their true identity and nationality, repenting and coming back to the commandments, and waking up to the second coming of Yahweh and his truth. All right, so that's it on that. Rest in peace, Theo Huxtable, Malcolm Jamal Warner. The Cosby Show broke a lot of records, brought some of our people out of a very dark time in the 80s, but that was all the power of the Most High using the modern day media and television and people with fame to still instill some values and morals and dignity and self-esteem in our people during a dark era. All the credit still goes to the Most High. Lamentations 3:22, that's what I started with. It is of the Lord's mercies, not necessarily a TV show, but is of the Yahweh's mercies that we are not consumed. All right, Bill Crosby. Yeah, my mom used to call him that, Crosby, but it's actually Cosby. My mom used to come on, we gonna watch Crosby? All right, shout out to my moms. But my mom Duke used to say Crosby. Right? Come on, let's y'all gonna turn on Crosby. Turn from that. Let's turn on Crosby. But anyway, any questions or comments about what I just went into? I'm just gonna go into the new moon now. Tonight is the new moon, 5th month. Yeah, may the Most High have mercy on the brother's spirit, and if we don't get the spiritual power to resurrect him back from the dead in these last days, may the brother come into the kingdom and be renewed and serving the Most High as an Israelite. Rest in power, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Theo Huxtable. All right. And Salakia, one more thing about the show. Remember, with the show, they took a lot of the episodes off for Syndicate when Cosby had the sex scandal. But Cosby got released, and all that was BS. But at the end of the day, that was actually to tarnish Cosby's legacy because it was he was known as America's dad, and they didn't want a black man growing old with such a clean legacy. All right. So like I said, I didn't hear no conspiracy, so I'm not gonna say they killed Malcolm Jamal Warner because he had a squeaky clean name. I don't, it seemed like it was an accident. I don't know. More stuff might come out. We might hear stuff, but that's what it is right now. But the brother's death made me think about the Cosby Show, which made me think about the 80s. Like I said, that crack era, man, that was a big part of my growing up. Not that I was a part of it, but I was surrounded by it. And the Most High, it's a blessing testimony because the Most High allowed me to live through that. Some didn't live through it. I got family members that didn't live through it. I got family members that, went to jail for the rest of their life, got addicted, got killed, died. Some even became rich. Some became rich and went legitimate. you know, got businesses and everything now, just clean all that money up, gave the block up and said, I got a stack. I'm going legit now. It's all good. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, no folly. So tonight is the new moon, 5th month. All praise to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushai. Let's go to Numbers 28 and 11. Numbers chapter 28 and verse 11. It reads, and in the beginning of your months, ye shall offer a burnt offering unto Yahweh, 2 young bullocks and 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year without blemish. Verse 15, and 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering unto Yahweh shall be offered beside the continual burnt offering and his drink offering. So this is just the different offerings that you burn on just the different offerings you burn on the new moon. All praise to the Most High, Mashiach Yahushai. Right? Let's go from there to Amos 8. Amos 8. And they still show Cosby Shorts on YouTube. Yeah, but a lot of the shows you can't find, man, because they got rid of it because of that scandal with Cosby. Was Ronald Reagan president around it? Look it up. See who was president in the 80s. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Reagan had, I think, 2 terms in the 80s. Remember, George Senior Bush tried to kill Reagan because he was vice president. The guy that shot Reagan was a cousin of the Bushes. And they was trying to assassinate Reagan so Bush could come into office early, but the bullet missed his heart by about a half an inch, I think. So Reagan lived, and then Bush had to come in 1 term after him. But yeah, Ronald Reagan, I think he was president from 80 to 88, if I'm not mistaken. You can look it up. All right, but during the height of all that crack epidemic, yeah, Reagan was president. All right, Amos 8 and 4. Hear this, O ye that swallow up the needy, even to make the poor of the land to fail, saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn, and the Sabbath that we may set forth wheat, making an ephah small and the shekel great, and falsifying the balances by deceit. Because what? On the new moons and Sabbaths, the gate to the city where you can buy and sell was to be closed. Everything was to focus on the new moon and the Shabbat, because the new moon is a Shabbat also, but it's a feast day Shabbat. It's not like the regular Shabbat. It's a feast day Shabbat in a sense of it has all the restrictions of the regular Shabbat, but you can work and feast. And any work that you do has to be towards the feast. All right? And you can feast and different things. Anything you do has to be towards the new moon feast. Whereas the regular Shabbat, everything is just shut down. All right? So our people back then, they wanted the new moon to be over so they can hustle each other. They were hustling each other, man. Right? Because why? They was like, we're going to give you less product for more money. Our people was doing it. And they wanted the new moon and Sabbath to be over so they can get back to making their money. Some of Israel do that today. They make the feast days and the Sabbaths a burden. They can't wait till they be over so they can get back to work or get back to doing their pleasure or their folly. So they don't have to have the restrictions of the Shabbat. All right, so that was going on with our people back then. Check that out. That was going on with our people back then. Let's go to the Apocrypha. We're going to go to 2nd Ezra 6 and 45. Just getting a few on the new moon. Y'all should know a lot of these scriptures on the new moon already. Have them in your arsenal so y'all can read them. 2nd Ezra 6 and 45. Upon the 4th day, thou commandest that the sun should shine and the moon give her light. Okay, now this is something that comes up during the lunar and regular Shabbat debates. Because brothers say if the moon was created on the 4th day, how could the moon determine the week? The counter argument is these are days to the Most High. These are not like our days. So the moon still controls the start of the week or the start of the month. I'm is the seventh, but is the 7th day Sabbath the only feast day we can fast on? Um, well, the scriptures don't really say about whether you have to fast or feast on a Shabbat. It's really just a day of rest. All right. That's if you want to fast on the Sabbath, that's up to you. If you want to feast on the Sabbath, that's up to you. But you know, you're not supposed to kindle any fire. So you know, normally on the Shabbat you have maybe cold cuts, other food that's you don't have to really make hot. Or some people cook before the Shabbat and eat room temperature food. I'm not doing that. I'm not eating cold food hot. I mean, I'm not eating hot food cold or room temperature. Now, hot food is meant to be hot. I don't know how Israel do it. Y'all do it, knock yourself out. Some of y'all say it still tastes good, room temperature. Nah, my food got to be piping hot. So give me a sandwich and a piece of damn fruit or a salad, and that's my food for the Sabbath. I'm not going to eat some damn baked lamb. Been sitting out all night for 10 hours. Got gelatin grease on it. And, oh, this tastes good. Nah. I'll wait till sundown for all that and warm that damn lamb up. Yeah, there's nothing wrong if hell no, I ain't eat no cold pizza, man. I can't stand no cold pizza. All my food, you know, my wives could tell you, man, my food gotta be hot. I like my food. Hot, I like it to come out the oven hot, and then I like to let it cool off a little bit and then eat. I can't eat hot, cold food. I don't know how people do it. I might eat a piece of chicken that's been out, that's like fried, or a piece of meat that's been sitting for a couple of hours, but nah, I'm good. I'll wait till sundown. I eat. Give me a sandwich. I'll be all right. I won't starve. Sundown, I'm warming that food up. I don't know how y'all do it, Israel. Y'all eat hot food cold. Nah, it don't make no sense to me. A damn piece of damn steak that been sitting on a pot since you cut the fire off before the sun went down. It's been sitting on the damn stove for 16 hours. Nah. I'm good on eating hot food cold. I'm good. All right. Even cold spaghetti. Some people say cold spaghetti is good. I can eat it, but warm that. You gotta warm that sucker up. All right, but anyway, we don't want to get into no folly. Yeah. So like I was saying with the lunar and weekly Shabbat, that's one of the debates. You know, I'm more so with the first argument because it does say it's the Most High's day, but it's still the concept of a 7-day week. And then it said on the 7th day he rested. So that was him establishing the Shabbat on the 7th day when the moon was created on the 4th day. See, I don't want to get into all that back and forth because to me that whole Sabbath debate is redundant. Just keep whatever Sabbath you're going to keep, but that's the type of stuff that just don't line up and make sense to me when it comes to that lunar Sabbath. But I know brothers got 1,000 slides on a PowerPoint presentation that they have to explain a point, so knock yourself out. I'm a weekly Sabbath Shabbat keeper. I'm going to leave it at that. Yahweh shall return if I was wrong. Lord, forgive me. I was not trying to worship Saturn. I kept the Shabbat that I saw. May Yahweh shall have mercy when he return and say, here's the proper Sabbath. Your efforts is what count. You were trying to make a sincere, righteous effort. You erred. The Sabbath is another day. Here, the water Yahweh Shai, may I enter into the kingdom. Kwam Yashala. All right. 2nd Ezra 6:46, and gave us them a charge to do service unto man that was to be made. Because what? The sun and the moon helps us out on the earth with certain ordinances. So that's 2nd Ezra 6:45 and 46. Luke 21:25. We're not going to get too many tonight. Luke 21:25. All right, yeah, it's already 2:30. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Right? You're going to see certain signs in the heavens, and You're going to see certain behavior of nations and men on the earth. Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken, meaning the kingdoms. We coming into a time where the kingdoms of nations are about to be shaken. They're going to be shaken up with war, destruction, wrath, fear. All right. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. That's going to be the prelude to Yahweh's second coming. All right. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Of course, if you see the chariots and the angels coming, look up. Yahweh's on his way. Rejoice, because we out of here. All right. So y'all know I always like to get Luke and Colossians on every new moon. Those are my staple new moon scriptures. I always like to close out with those because they're important to keep putting that vibration out. Colossians 2:16. Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink, or in respect of an holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days. Don't let no man judge you in meat or in drink, which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Yahweh. And let me say this, since we had the whole moon and Shabbat, lunar, and weekly Sabbath debate that just came up. A lot of y'all Hebrews are very emotional about doctrine. And y'all don't understand the grace of Yahweh and Yahweh. A lot of y'all need a lesson on grace and mercy. Because this debate with BOW and Genesis, shout out to both sides. I'm cordial with both brothers. I have no dog in a fight, except that I'm a so-called Friday to Saturday Sabbath keeper. And I gave my opinion. I said I believe BOW won the debate only because I just feel BOW presented a better argument. Had I felt Genesis presented a better argument, I would have been like, hey, I'm a regular Sabbath keeper, but them brothers didn't present their case. But to me, they presented a good argument. That's why they won the debate, to me, and just my most humble opinion, just little old me. Other people felt differently. But when you check it out, a lot of y'all get super emotional about doctrine. I saw a lot of emotions and pride about this lunar Sabbath thing. But you got to remember, this is a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Yahweh. When we're all together as one body in Yahweh, he's going to have mercy on us because we're rehearsing. So whoever's right about this Shabbat, and I only say that because I know the Shabbat I believe in and see through, my research and studies. I don't say a lot because it is what it is. I don't have to have a pride fest with brothers. Yeah. Shout out to Genesis, man. My brothers Assad and Deacon, but them transitional days is nasty work. Nah, no folly. But I don't want to seem like I'm mocking or partial or nothing like that. Shout out to my brothers, but them transitional days is nasty work, Gok. But anyway, no folly. I'm just having a little fun. Deacon and Hassad, that's my brothers, man. You can't take away from their works in the community. But anyway, no folly. Y'all gotta stop being so emotional and prideful about doctrine. Because you see, the most I make one thing happen. Normally it would have been like, oh, debate, who you think won? Okay. But that lunar, because it was two significant young camps in Israel, the debate got some traction. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it was something that was talked about a lot. I wasn't going to say nothing. I was just going to be like, BOW, I already know the Sabbath I keep. But I just made a little comment about it. But I see a lot of emotion sparked up. And y'all got to chill out, man. Y'all got to chill out with getting so emotional over doctrine. And you know what it is? It's more pride than emotion. The pride leads to the emotion because you want to be right instead of being true. And I know that may not make sense to a lot of y'all, but think about it. Well, you are right when you true, elder. You are true when you're right. Yes, but you want to be right more than you want to be true. Everybody understand what I mean when I say that? You're more worried about being right than being true. And that's when your ego and emotions and your pride come in. I'm looking like people going on rants. But I'm saying, Elder, you say the weekly Sabbath, and one brother, I thought the brother was crying. Y'all understand what I mean, right? Israel, the ego and the pride makes them want to be right. So that leads to the emotion. Because even if they feel they right and they they gave a better argument, if you say I disagree with you and I agree with the other side, they get emotional. Even if they feel they won the debate. And I'm not talking about Hassad or Deacon per se. I'm just saying in general. This one Benjamite brother came on my post, and I think this brother was crying. You know, I'm being a little sarcastic, but I'm having a LOL but seriously moment. Y'all know what that means, right? LOL but seriously. This brother seemed like he was crying. Elon Ariel, I don't mean laughing, crying either. This brother, y'all know how we said it. Her nigga stop whining. This brother was seeming like he was whining. But Elder, you say that about now. I know you can't tell nobody's spirit in a text or but you can feel the spirit. You can feel the energy sometime. Like when somebody talking reckless on a comment or post. Yo, bro, watch your mouth, man. You ain't got to talk to me like that. Let's be respectful here, bro. So his comments, it seemed like he's crying. Like this, and it's no disrespect, it's just a figure of speech. Like, this nigga, why is this brother whining? This brother whining. Brother, I believe BOW presented a better argument. This brother went on a rant on my post, like whining. And you know what it is? Y'all studying doctrine more to be right than to just get proper understanding. Teach what you see in the spirit. Those that gonna agree. Those that not, they not. Yeah. The pride leads to the emotion. You can't say brothers is wrong. Brother, brother, listen. Matter of fact, how humble can I say it? Brother, I believe you're wrong. I don't agree with you. Yeah. Yeah, Ephraim, that's an excellent point, Ephraim Yasha Allah. When people want to debate constantly, it's a spirit behind it. Shalom, H.O.I, Las Vegas in the building. Kwame Shalom. Can't wait to get back out there, man, putting that work on the strip, King. But yeah, people get emotional. Yeah, brother, I pray for all of Israel all the time. Some of y'all request personal prayer, and that's fine, but I pray for the whole nation all the time. All right, yeah, so you're not reading scriptures like this because it clearly say, let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of an holy day or the new moon or of the Sabbath days. Ain't nobody gonna get me in a tizzy if they say you're following Saturn Day. That's what I see according to my research. Now, I pray, Yahweh Most High, if I'm wrong, please show me. But I'm not convinced by these brothers' arguments. And by the way, from my research, the lunar Sabbath is a new doctrine. All right, that's not something that we really followed in our history. Even the regular scholars tell you that. But I know brothers will have counter history to say, no, I got a book that said we was doing it back in 2 BC or whatever. I don't know. Right? So you can pray and ask the Most High to take them spirits off of you. That's what you can do. Sex addict, get you a wife. And the scripture saying, 2 Timothy's flee from youthful lusts. Being a sex addict is that's just youthful lust. All right, gambling addict, damn it, think about the money you're wasting. That could stop you from gambling. You blowing money. Hell, donate some of that money to the nation so we can help get this work done. Nicotine addicts, cigarettes are overrated. They just addictive. They smell, they stink. That's one of the most overrated habits. I don't even know why I smoked. I think I just did it to be down with everybody else in the world. Weed is another bad habit. You stink, you smell, you high, you have the munchies, you look stupid in the face, you're smiling and laughing, your eyes are red, another stupid ass high. And you spending money. So think about the stupidity. I'm gonna be a little harsh, brother. Think about the stupidity of the addictions you have. And that can help you change. But what's gonna ultimately help you change? Prayer, fasting, repenting, coming into this truth, getting part of a congregation, getting elders and brothers over you to help you and guide you. And you know you're an Israelite, brother Tony? Yeah, Aisha, y'all, 1 Corinthians 3:16-17, defiling your temple. Yeah, be ye perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. Strive for perfection. Strive for repentance. Paul said, flee also youthful lusts. I think that's 2 Timothy 2:22. Those are youthful lusts. Weed, cigarettes, sex addict. Paul said, so you don't burn, get a wife. Have sex with your wife every night. If you just gotta have it, get two wives, but get your spirit and mind right first, and get yourself right before you even get one wife. All right, but if you just got a large sexual appetite, even though you don't get more wives just for sex, but that can be a part of it. Oh, okay, King. All praises. He's a new brother, so we pray for the brother that he get his spirit right. And you got to learn. Since you're new, you got to learn. But back to what I was speaking about of the new moon or of the Sabbath days. So I humbly pray, if Friday sundown to Saturday sundown is not the true Sabbath, when the Most High returns through Yahweh, that mercy is bestowed upon me. I don't think I'm going to change before Yahweh come back, because I haven't seen a convincing argument of the lunar Sabbath. So I'm going to hold fast like it tells us in Revelations. But y'all have to stop getting emotional about doctrine, Israel. Please. That's all I'm going to say. All right? So don't let no man. Colossians 2:16-17. The whole lunar Friday Sabbath debate. That's right there in a nutshell. Keep doing the Sabbath that you see in the spirit. The new moon you see. Some brothers go on rants and say, we keeping the dark moon that's off. You're supposed to keep the crescent moon, the first slither. I don't see that. They say the dark moon is from Esau because he wants to be on the dark side. I don't know. But there was darkness before light. So was the Most High on the dark side? Remember, the moon has to be dark, then it goes into its phases of light. But the new moon is tonight for us. Some brothers is Friday night. They look at the first crescent. Good for them. I'm damn sure not going to knock them, and I hope they don't knock me. They can present their research, and I could be like, oh, I'm going to check that out. And there's biased research. You can find information to go along with your argument. That doesn't necessarily make it true. You know, so that's it on that. Ashar Kadash Rock, happy new moon. Happy new brew moon. 5th month. All praise to the Most High of Mashiach Yahushai. Any questions or comments before we close out? So that's all. I just want to talk about something a little bit different tonight. But again, the death of the brother Malcolm Jamal-Warner kind of reminded me of the 80s, the Cosby Show, the whole crack epidemic, and the music, nostalgia. And I said, I'm gonna just have, tonight was like a little commentary slash, I brought a couple of scriptures out to go along with what I was saying. And then, the new moon, close it out because it is the new moon. So like Ice Cube said, today was a good day. All right. One of my favorite Ice Cube songs. I don't know what that comedian Ari Spears talking about. Ice Cube is not, he's not entertaining or something like that. Good Day is one of his most corny songs. Look at how he's rhyming. Every Spears, you don't know hip hop, man. You don't know hip hop veterans. It could be the most basic of lyrics, and to me, Tupac lyrics was basic, but Tupac had character. Tupac lyrics was, well, I'm not gonna say basic, but they were like average lyrics, and I don't say average in a bad way. They were just lyrics like you can just, his lyrics was straight to the point. But you got those metaphors and different things that be like, oh damn, you heard what he said? But Tupac would have what makes him a great rapper. He had passion, he had stage presence, and he meant what the hell he said. Some of these dudes rhyming about I had work on the block, the AK. Nigga, you don't even believe that because you don't come from that. So, you know, today was a good day in my Ice Cube. Not to go off on a tangent, but, every day is a blessing that the Most High wake us up. But me and my brothers was able to get out the camp earlier, teach and feed the people feed the flock on the street, and come back, do the new moon, and give all praise to the Most High, even though it's on a late night. Sometimes kingdom minded, sometimes no, I don't get a lot of sleep, brother. All right. Yeah, the brother, and he want to say that about Ice Cube. He's not on a top 10 of Negro comedians. I never really even saw one of the brothers' stand-up shows. But that's neither here nor there. That's just personal opinions. Yeah, Tupac had charisma. He brought life to it. He had stage presence. He had life. I'm not saying his lyrics wasn't good, but I'm just saying he brought energy with his lyrics. His lyrics was kind of just on an average basic level, but they're not saying they were not good. You know what I'm saying? But he brought stage presence, he brought charisma, and he made you feel what he was saying. That's what made him an excellent rapper. And then it sounded like he was saying more than what he was saying. But Tupac was a great rapper. Yeah, he had flow. I'm not saying his lyrics were not good. I'm just saying they were compared to some lyricists, a Rakim or a Nas or a, you know. Jim Jones Jim Jones need to grow the hell up, man. And the stuff he said about Nas, he can't be a good representative of hip hop with the stuff he said about Nas. That brothers. But anyway, I don't. At the end of the day, I don't really care about none of that. It just is in the news. I observe and give my opinion. Repent and keep the commandments. You can bring a child into this world. You cannot bring a child. The Apocrypha said, the Lord said, I'm going to cover your children so that they don't see hell. But I know people that refuse to have children now. What are they doing to not have children? That can go into sin because, messing with your wound and doing different stuff like that. The Most High, childbirth is natural. So you're not supposed to alter your wound and all that kind of different stuff. Protection, you're supposed to go on faith. You got to use a Jimmy on your own wife. I mean, come on. So my thing is, if your wife get pregnant, she get pregnant. If she don't, she don't. If she get pregnant, deal with it in these last days. But if you can avoid having a child in these last days because you don't want to bring a child into this evil world, that's on you. But you got to have faith. You got to have faith, Ak. Yeah, birth control a lot of times birth control can destroy these women inside. So I would say get them off the birth control and just have faith in the Most High. She get pregnant, she get pregnant. She don't, she don't. Some people, no matter how much they have sex, their wife don't get pregnant. It is what it is. So you got to go on faith. If the Most High opens her womb, he's going to give you means to take care of that child, and that child will be protected in these last days. Yeah, Nas is a beast, yeah. No, I don't speak Spanish. I never heard of Ghost Contra. A lot of these guys I never heard of. I don't listen to them. So that's the Israel. We talking about hip hop now, which is all good. But all right. So hey, tonight's lesson was a little bit different, but hope you still got some edification. If y'all learn one thing tonight, um, if y'all learn one thing tonight, we've done our job. I've done my job. Those that offered insight on the comment board did their job. Um, yeah, some people don't have kids in this world for whatever reason, but birth control and getting your tubes burnt and all that kind of stuff, nah, man, that's not of the Most High. The scripture says in Psalms 127:3, children are a heritage of the Most High. Children are a gift from the Most High. So if your wife get pregnant, that's from the Most High. That's not a bad thing. That's, oh, my children coming into this evil world. When children don't have sex, don't get married. Nah, no folly, but doing all that other stuff is off. All right, so that's it, family. All right, if y'all learn one thing tonight, I've done my job. All praise to the Most High, Mashiach Yahweh. Just something to think about, food for thought. Again, may the brother rest in peace. It's not about celebrity worship or nothing like that, so nobody gets simple. We all grew up on THEO HUXTABLE, depending on your age. The YNs might not know about him, but better believe their parents know about him. All right, so may the brother rest in peace. His death brought back memories of the 80s, the Cosby Show, the crack epidemic, all that stuff that was going on in the 80s. But our people, we survived through it. You even got the generation that they call crack babies, which is kind of a disparaging label to put on people. And I did some research. A lot of that crack baby thing was hype. A lot of our children was born fine. All right. And on another note, they try to call the children crack babies, so the women have to give them up for adoption, or they have to put them in foster homes, or have all this kind of medical thing. Check out that whole crack baby thing. That was another conspiracy by the government. A lot of our children was born fine. Daddy was on crack. Mommy might have been on crack. They were born fine. Right? So that's it, y'all. So I hope y'all enjoyed the lesson again. Rest in power to our brother THEO HUXTABLE. Nah, no folly. Hopefully the brother's daughter's okay. Or his daughter was with him and they was able to save her, but he drowned. Yeah, man, most I say it's time to go, it's just time to go, So yeah, like I said, it just brought me back to that 80s era. And how the Most High, brought us through that. So all praises, Kwame Ashala, we still got next. Hallelujah. Bring it out. H.O.I to them chariots fly, only screaming if you mean it. Ashar Kadash Rock, happy new brew true moon, 5th month. This Saturday, if you're in the New York, New Jersey, Philly, Northeast area, this Saturday, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., we will be in Philadelphia on 15th and Market, downtown Philadelphia, bringing out the gospel. Rebuke the violence in Philly pull-up. H.O.I Northeast. Come on out, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. this Saturday, 15th and Market, downtown Philly, Center City, and support H.O.I with our pull-up. All right, House of Israel NYC at gmail.com if you want to email. House of Israel NYC at gmail.com. If you want to donate, Cash App Zabak12. Z as in zebra, A as in apple, B as in boy, A as in apple, C as in cat, H as in hat. My name with the number 12 with $ in the front. PayPal, inac747 at yahoo.com. INAC, I as in instinct, N as in Nancy, A as in apple, K as in karate, 747 like the plane, at yahoo.com for PayPal donations. Apple Pay, Chime, and Zelle upon request, and any other form you want to donate in is upon request. Email at houseofisraelnyc@gmail.com. All right, so come on out if you're in the Philly area this Sabbath, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., 15th and Market, in front of the Giant Clothespin. H.O.I. Northeast, New York, New Jersey, and Philly. Even maybe a couple of our brothers and sisters from the DMV might pull up. Rebuke the Violence in Philly, pull up. Saturday, Sabbath, July 26th, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., 15th and Market, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, downtown/Center City. Come on out. Be there or be in the spirit there. All right, so all praise to the Most High Mashiach Yahushua. Again, a Shah Kadash Rock. Happy new brew moon, 5th month. All praise to Yahweh and Yahushua forever and ever. Amen. Shalom. Khan. Kwam Yashala. Ashar Kadash Rock again. Happy new moon, 5th month. Shalom.